Dennis Aguma. You're welcome to this 8M Skilling and Career Guidance program.
Thank you very much for having me, and congratulations on the launch of the Skilling Center. You've done an excellent job. Well done.
Thank you. Now that we have you, you are one Ugandan that is currently in Great Britain, but moving up and down.
Yeah.
Kindly introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers.
Thank you very much. My name is Dennis Aguma, as you've mentioned. I'm a Muchiga from Kawale, but I live and work at Birmingham City University as a lecturer in business and entrepreneurship. My PhD research, in fact, is also looking at entrepreneurship skills. So for me, it's really a delight to have me here talking about skills, particularly around engineering, because there seems to be some kind of they are like cousins, innovation and engineering. So I would like to contribute to that. Yes.
So now our problem is skilling.
Yeah.
And that's why I have the 8M Skilling Center. And let's talk particularly about skilling those in the vocational and institutes, technical institutes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you our thoughts, then you give us yours.
Yeah.
We seem to be getting people who are going for this vocational technical training, because they have failed to go higher towards degrees. 2, because they have failed to raise monies towards these other greener pastures.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on making us think that we can get good, fundamentally good, skilled people?
Yeah, you make a valid observation, and it's rather unfortunate because technical and vocational skills are really the engine of most economies. If you think about it, if you go to any building site, as you would know yourself being an engineer, the biggest number of people there are not the architect or the site engineer. You know, it's the masons, it's the carpenters, it's those artisanal people. They are the engine, and it's unfortunate that perhaps maybe they end up there not out of choice. So there is a need to look back at our curriculum design. There might be a need there to go back to secondary schools and enlighten these young people about these brilliant opportunities.
That's career guidance.
That's career guidance by and large, but there's also an element that institutions, from a policy perspective, government must be intentional about this. If you go to countries like China, they have so many of these skills, so much so that countries like the US, you know, the Apple iPhone of yours is manufactured there. And the reason they took those jobs there is because they have the skills, the technical skills. And even in the West, we are seeing that those skills are few and far between.
So when we are looking for the shortfalls, when we are looking for what to research upon, what are these that you do advise us to?
I think we need to go back. We need to look at our curriculum development and inform these young people about these opportunities. We need to invest in infrastructure. You can't, these skills, you can't study them theoretically. We need to train our teachers about these options. We might need something around public-private partnerships.
Okay.
So if you're building up a hospital, you may want to partner with a particular institution so that the students can work in tandem with the education.
One last question. We have a problem with communication. Look, it's naturally working with the Muchiga, working with the Muganda, and their instructions coming from a so-called degree holder who speaks only English and is communicating with this other Mason who really basically understands only Uganda or only Japan. What are your thoughts on the future?
Regarding communication, that's a problem not just for Uganda, but for the whole of the East African community. And I think the guidance has been that all countries must teach their citizens Swahili, which would in this case be a neutral language that could be spoken. So this Muchiga guy could go to Congo and start working, could go to Rwanda and start working. I mean, you've traveled yourself. You see people in Germany, they study and work in German. If you go to Czech Republic, they study in their language. The guys in France, they study in their French language. And it's much easier, I think, if you're studying in a language that you are familiar with. So that might be a parallel project for the whole country to make sure that there is one common language that people can speak.
Fine. So as we end, we are starting this skilling center. what do you say we should do?
One, you ought to be commended for having started the Skilling Center. Secondly, the test of this pudding will be in the eating. So I'm looking forward to seeing the programs that you're going to be rolling out. I'm looking forward to seeing you take advantage of the digital platforms that are now available. I'm looking forward to seeing you reaching out further to secondary schools. I'm reaching forward to seeing you involved in curriculum design for these technical young people. I'm seeing you having practical elements, including at this site perhaps where people can come in and do some creativity, some actual stuff, so that this is not theoretic, but actual practical stuff coming out of the Skilling Center.
Dennis Aguma, I thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.